Ew. You are live here with another episode of In Space. I'm your host, Chris Connor, as always. And today we got my dog, one of my day ones in my journey through Pelicans stratosphere. Is
I
that
was
is
gonna
that
say Twitter
let's
sphere.
go? Yeah. Twitter sphere. We got Rel, but it's not just Rel, okay? Cause I
Uh-oh.
got cause I got a bunch of names here. Some of
I
them
got
I got
names.
from others, and some of them are from me. Real, aka is RE1 hockey stick, Hail Rail, Rail Dunn, Rail Withers, and Tyrell Evans.
What? Wait, Rel Withers is new. I don't think I ever heard you say that one.
I'm just I mean I call her Rail Intense. I didn't even put that on here, but this
One hockey stick.
my dog, one of the founders of Pels 12, a superstar in the world now. She can introduce herself. My dog, Miss Myers. What's
Yes,
good?
it is me in the flesh. I'm happy to be on here, man. When you first launched this, I was like, yeah, we got to do it. We got to get on there. And I know you had a couple people on, and I got a couple podcasts I'm doing and stuff. So I'm happy to finally get on here and chop it up with you a little bit.
Man, I really appreciate it, man, because I just I so funny story. I went on. I'm trying to really learn and dive deeper into my Instagram life again,
Okay, yeah, yeah,
because I mean,
yep,
and it's just I had spent maybe like 5-6 years just not on IG. So I really, I'm back, and there's a whole bunch of new things that I'm learning, like how to do or whatever. So
yeah.
I go to your page, and you can save like it's almost like an archive for people to go through of like stories and videos. So I
Oh
click on
yeah.
it, and I'm looking, and I'm like, why is Drew Holiday on the court? I'm like, oh, this like from
Yeah.
2-3 years ago. So
Yes.
real, like we go back a minute, but for those who aren't familiar, um, we're here now in a situation where fandom, in a lot of respects, lifelong love of the city of the Pelicans has turned into everybody getting an opportunity, pretty much now to kind of contribute and show what they
Yeah,
can do in one way or another.
for sure.
You have a new podcast. You got a lot of stuff going on. Like you got Rel Pels. Everybody knows you now. If they didn't
Yeah.
already, how does that feel, superstar?
It's really weird. It's really weird, and I feel like I went to a really small school. So, I mean, before Katrina, I did. And it was like, everybody at the school knew me and stuff, but it's school. I went to a school that was pre K to 12th grade from when I was in pre K to when I was in 10th. So, it's like all these same people. So, it's like I'm used to like kind of being, a little bit more on the social side and everything. But like for people who I don't know to know me is definitely, I don't know if that's something that I'll get used to. Like I kind of just get a case of the giggles. And people like, you're real. And I'll be like, yeah, that's me.
Man, because I feel like typically when I do these shows, or as I've been like learning how to do these shows, I feel like you get people like introductions and all this other stuff, and I just don't feel like that was necessary here. Like
Yeah.
people, nine times out of 10 at this point, people if they are tuning into this show, they know who Rail is. They've heard of
Yeah.
Rail, they've met Rail, they've seen Rail, and I gotta give you your flowers, man, because this is what this show is really about. This is what it was important for to me
Hmm.
to really shine a light and show love and have a conversation with people that are doing something positive to the city.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, and I don't know, and I'm curious on your thoughts about this.
Hmm.
When you started Pels 12, along with Sean and Lee
Hmm.
and others, I mean, it's just, I mean, the list is like the list is long, right? But being a part of that process to now is crazy, right? Because
Yeah.
what was a watch party, what was selling t-shirts is now like road
Yeah.
trips, and it's really a community.
Hmm.
It's
It's
really a
nuts.
community. Ain't that crazy?
It's I can't tell you the last time I've gone in the blender and didn't run into like somebody that I knew from Twitter or from wherever else. So, and I know now I'm never gonna go in there again and not know somebody. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Somebody came up to me yesterday and he asked me a question, but he was like, I really wanted to ask you, I really want to ask you that question, but also I just want to introduce myself because I'm so and so from Twitter. And I was like, hey, yo. And I knew exactly who he was. But he told me who he was. But, sometimes people don't have profile pictures, or sometimes people, you might not recognize them from their picture and stuff. So, um, it's wild. It's wild. I've been on Fox. I think I was on WDSU. Like,
Now she think. Now she think.
like I know I was on Fox more than once, but I feel like WWL and them, I be getting all of them mixed up. But I was on Fox more than once. But yeah, it's crazy that people are calling me like, yeah, let's talk about the Pelicans, and I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Look, man, I was at I went to the preseason game here in Chicago when the Pelicans were in town. I went to both, but preseason game, of course, first. And I run into Joe Myers and we chop it up for a minute. And the first thing he says to me is, the Pels 12 is here, huh? I'm like, like it's really dope that like last year was really, it was dope to see so many people. And I know like I'm a part of it. I'm a big part of it, but I'm happy to watch so many people turn things that were deemed as like negative into positives one way or another. And not just in regards to talking about the Pelicans. It's building communities, it's building friendships, it's building bonds, it's building things for people to do, it's building opportunities. I told you the last time I seen you, I was like, dude, like you're gonna be at charity events and going like the Pels 12 is going. No, seriously though, like that's what this is going to grow to. It's gonna be bigger than watch parties. It's gonna be like presented to you by Pels 12, partner with Pels 12. I know you've had some of those, recent, I know, with like sports drink and stuff, with which was dope, what you guys did to start the year. But dog, you about to, you about to go into a whole different, y'all about to be a part of going to a whole different new universe now. And if you think about like just from a year ago, somebody would have told you that you was doing like all of this, you were gonna be on Fox, WDSU, TV, and AD is like, they go Rel Pels 12.
Yeah, that was nuts. That was crazy. And they told me everybody in the watch party was like, it's Rocky and Rel. Like everybody was wilding when they saw us on the TV. That was dope.
Waving the flag before the game. Like, who are you, bro?
My ticket rep hit me up. She's like, you want to be season ticket holder of the game? I was like, I've been waiting on this for like 5 years. I never thought you'd ask. Let's do it, But, back in the day, they used to do it where you be the season ticket holder of the game and you like get to go on the court and take a picture with a random bench player or something like that. Maybe hold a basketball with him on a picture. And now you get to do the flag and all that. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in there. Let's do it.
So let me ask you, because I know you have a different perspective than I have. Because if people ask me this shit all the time, and it's like, I can definitely tell you where things changed. From my view, I can tell you all the elements that kind of brought it together and the different things that helped it. But you have boots on the ground and you out there like in the streets and at every game.
Yeah.
For you, when did the face of Pelicans fan base just in the city to you change to where we are now?
I feel like the thing I always kind of go back to is when, I don't know, it was like a random Tuesday or something in the middle of the day and AD came on the Spaces. Like, I feel like that was the turning point for like everything. And then from that point, things are like, I can't even say slowly started to change things, but like that wasn't an off season, right? Am I tripping? Was that before the season started?
Nah, dog, that was like,
everything's a blur.
Yeah, that's crazy though, right? I know. I think if I'm right, that was media day. That was either media day or it was like a week. No, I got you. So media day was no, was it? It might have been media day because
I have no idea.
Yeah, it was either media day or I think it was because we did the first Spaces that I originally did was about the Kristen Clark piano story.
Okay.
And that came out prior, right? Okay, that came out prior. Media day was when you get the questions about about that story and so on and so forth. But that's also when we find out, if I'm correct, that's when we find out that Zion is going, he ended up breaking his foot and he was gonna
Yeah.
miss time. And if I'm correct, I think that was that spaces to where it was like, oh man, here we go again.
Man, it's been so many. It's hard to really pinpoint, exactly what happened and when it happened. Everything's just really been a blur ever since we were 1-12. So we was in the
But
trenches, but we was in it together.
but what do you think was so important like about that though? Like what do you think was so important about that moment? Because it wasn't like I mean when I left that spaces with AD and it was 700-800 people, I was like okay, because it was a lot of outside Pelicans fans that were in
Yeah.
there, and they got a chance to hear AD kind of pretty much talk to 5, 6, 7, 8 people in a row who all were filing
Mhm.
their grievances, right? with the organization. They all got a different, a different perspective and view. Do you think it was that maybe more of us got to see, oh, it is a lot of us out there that really care about this team? We
That's
just
exactly what it was.
okay.
That's exactly what it was. Because I feel like we all, and I feel like I've said this a bunch of times too on different like videos and stuff, but like I feel like we all thought that we were like the biggest Pelicans fan, and we had never met anybody else that was as big of a fan. So when you find this little group of people, it's like we all found our tribe at the same time. It's like it's not like this group was out there that like existed and we just like one person just got inducted into the group. It's like we all just kind of like met at the same time. So it was really weird. And of course, there's, obviously there's people that we all were talking to on Twitter before about the team. And there's these guys that I've been in a group chat with for like, I don't know, like 5, 6 years. And some of them, I still don't even know these dudes, but we be talking in the chat. Like if they walked up to me, I might not know who that is. But yeah, we all had our little groups, but now it's like all these small little pockets just kind of like met together and kind of meshed. So it's really cool. And I feel like with spaces, it was like you're the host, right? And then you have like this regular cast of characters that's up there speaking on a repetitive basis.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of like people seeing us all up there, and so it's James, it's Charles, it's Five, it's me, it's for Lauren, Rocky, everybody. So it's been crazy kind of to see, and it's not just me and you. Like other people are like noticeable now. Like other people are getting recognized. Like, hey, ain't you so and so, whatever. Somebody came up to me one day and thought I was Rocky, and I was like, no, but I mean, I feel like you close. She's not here now, but I'll tell you said hi.
I, I compare it now that you mentioned it. I compare it to um a lot of us found long lost family,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people didn't know that there was a bigger world out there of people that not just cared about the team, cared
Mhm.
about the future of the organization, but knew what they were talking about, were invested, had been
Yeah.
fans for years and years, and were fans when it was ugly. When people was in them spaces, man, at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's people from Australia. We shout out to Lyle.
Yeah.
It was like, talking about how many, like he's at a team store looking for Pelicans, gear, and it's not. I'm like, bro, how do you become a Pelicans fan in Australia?
I
You
always
know,
wondered about that. He's coming
it's
down here next month. I can't wait, man.
he,
I can't
yeah,
wait.
yeah. He told me at the end of the month, I think. So it's
Mhm.
like it's crazy because being a Saints fan is different because shit. Yesterday, I ran to a Saints fan at the gym randomly. Right. I mean, Saints
That's
shirt on.
crazy.
You
Yeah.
you find people all the time, Saints fans all the time from all across the world, all across the
Mhm.
country. That's not there's Saints bars. There's a Saints
Yeah.
bar in Chicago, real.
That's crazy.
Why? You know, like that exists, bro. Like
That's
like there's
very
a
random.
there's and part of that is like it's the culture of New Orleans carrying
Mhm.
on in different pockets of the country and
Yeah.
our region, but people could connect the Saints there. It wasn't a way to really connect the Pelicans for long, and I feel like last year changed so much of that.
Yeah. I feel like we were at our lowest together. And so now everything from this point on, we just like we vibing. And we're not gonna win every game. And people gonna be on a Twitter, calling for each other's heads and stuff. I'm just like, all right, y'all. Y'all can have it. But nah, man, I've met so many like cool people, and I feel like there's a couple of y'all. Like if some sort of news comes to me, something good is about to happen. Like it's a couple of y'all. Y'all the first who I'm gonna text. Be like, hey, look, what's going on? Like
Yeah,
check out this screenshot.
yeah,
So it's there's people in this fan base that I talk to, more than I talk to some of my family members.
that's real,
So
man. That's real. Tell me about Pels and Whistles.
yeah, so you were saying how, if somebody had told me like a year ago if I'd be doing all this, would I believe it? I remember I called into the Pelicans radio show one time and, and they picked up and they were like, all right, we're going to put you on with Daniel. Just hang on. And so
My
Daniel picked
dog.
up. Yeah, he picked up and I said, hey, Rel, it's Daniel. I got all messed up. I was like, hey, am I starstruck? Is it because I'm on the radio? I don't know how many people listening, but no, man, he sent me a message. And he said that he had like an opportunity that he wanted to like talk about, like, can we hop on the phone, whatever. So I got on the phone with him and I was like, man, it's really good to hear your voice, like you got that like very like distinct voice. So, he's telling me that he, I guess was approached and they wanted to do a new Pelican show and they asked, if he could think of anybody that could provide a fan perspective that could co-host with him. And he's like, I have the perfect person. So he sends them my Twitter page. Obviously, you'll go on my Twitter and it's going to be nothing but Pelicans on there. I'm starting to sprinkle in a little bit of other stuff, talking about other teams and everything, but
Good.
you don't have to scroll far to find the Pelicans content. So the producer looked at my page and she was like, oh yeah, hit her up. Let's see if she's into it. So I talked to him about it. He gave me some details. I was like, tell him, call me. I'm ready. So we got that thing together. We launched it on opening day on October 19th, and it's going really good. I think the numbers are looking good. I was asking the producer because I don't really know what to look for. I'm like, is this good? She's like, actually, it's great. So keep it up.
Man,
so
shout
yeah.
out to Daniel Sallerson, man. He's another one of those people, man. I remember, and I'm gonna get him on here at some point because I my girl calls herself a file cabinet, and that was crazy to me the first time she said that.
What?
She was like, I'm a file cabinet. Like I remember everything. And I was like, that's a bar. If I was a rapper, I used that. That's a bar. So I just stole it.
Wow.
So shout out GTA. But I am in my mind, I'm like, I can remember pretty much everybody. While I can't, it's hard for me to remember certain dates and certain time and spaces, and a lot of things do feel like a blur. I remember the people that helped me when I was trying to figure out what was going on with these spaces, or just figure out what I wanted to do in this in this land, in this space.
Yeah.
Right? No pun intended. Daniel was one of them people. He got me on the official Pelicans podcast, and I had people in the media that was like, I ain't even been on there. I was like, damn. So, cause I be trying to keep it as humble as possible. I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want to shit on nobody, but they know, when they know, right? They know.
Yep.
But look, but look though, but that year, I just remember, and beyond, I keep tabs on so many people that looked out, and Dan was one of them people. He got me on that podcast. He told me, he would be in a DM all the time, like, hey bro, if you need anything, if there's anybody I can help you get on the spaces or do this or do that, I got you. And he stuck to his words. So I'm glad that y'all connected. I've listened to the show a few times, and it's a good for two people that don't really know each other like all that well. Y'all got pretty good chemistry. It's kind of weird, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess we're just that, we're both that kind of person. We're just like, whatever, we could just talk to whoever. We're talking about basketball. It's all good. So nah, he's cool. I was happy to see him at the last game. Came into town. And I got him a hat. I had to give him one of the bird hats.
He ain't stopped wearing it since either. I saw him doing a video with one on, like at the arena with his media pass on.
Look, I didn't even see that. That's crazy. But yeah, we are having a really good time with the show, and pretty soon, I think we'll probably start having like some merch or something that's connected to the show and things like that. So, it's been a lot of fun. So I'm just looking to keep on expanding on everything I'm doing, and you can turn around in a couple of days and be doing something else new. I'm all over the place.
You got to keep evolving, man.
There's
because what I realized, like a lot of stuff from last year, or some of it was just present for that time. It just was one of those periods to where some of the things that people were doing to catch attention, or that were, along for the ride and being a fan or contributing and putting out product, putting out content, it wasn't meant to last past last year. It was good for that time. It was great for that moment, but you got to continue to evolve. You got to continue to put your voice out there, put your feet out there, and see what else can you really thrive at. So I'm happy that you did this. I'm happy that you started with Rocky and Rel, and you are Rel, but you and Rocky continue to link, man, because that was really important, and still is, I think, important in a lot of respects as well, because we talked about it all the time, man. Like we're in a field where it's male dominated. It
Sure.
just it's just how it is, and a lot of the um a lot of the black people that end up being involved in some of these spaces are used as personalities, and and for laughs and for entertainment. Now we get to actually be serious and be and be a part of something special beyond just I guess beyond just entertaining folks, like actually
Yeah.
be knowledgeable and have a good time. And I'm glad to see that you took what was being a fan, being a part of something that was fun and gathered people and brought people together. Now you could turn that into actually breaking down the game, breaking down like what you see it, and do it from an informed perspective. And that's
Yeah.
dope, because everybody, like, fam, like when I was trying to find my way, like even like when I was writing, I was told like you couldn't do this. It was impossible to do it because you wouldn't be taken seriously.
No.
So look at you. I say taken seriously as we have these hats
Yeah,
on,
hey, look.
but but it's dope, man. It's dope because where you were last year, like people would come to the game, say, oh, oh, that's real. Oh, Rocky, what's up? Oh, they got a show, so on and so forth. Now it's, oh, that's real. And next year it's gonna be like, people gonna be further out. Hey, can you get me in contact with Rel? And then the year after that, it's gonna be like, can I get Rel's autograph?
Oh man. Look, if the Rattler brothers are listening, I told them at the Chalk Talk. I said, look, man, you want me to sign your Pelican hat, bro? They keep saying, oh, you're a superstar, you're a superstar. I'm gonna sign anybody's Pelican hat, man. But no, I tell people a lot of times, I'm just I'm just me. I'm a regular person, just like everybody else. I'm a fan of the team. I don't think I'm, more knowledgeable than the next person or anything like that. I'm just out here really. I'm doing what I used to do before. I think before we started doing the spaces and stuff, I was really tweeting into the abyss. Like I had 800 followers, but wasn't nobody really talking back to me. Like
Yeah.
they was just kind of there, and it's like they was listening, but they weren't like participating in the conversation, And I think for me, when stuff really really popped off, I had went to that game in Houston. That was the same day that y'all had the women's spaces, and I wasn't able to like really participate in it. I came in there, said my little piece real quick, and at that time, I think I was close to like 900 followers, and it's just been crazy ever since then. And I'm just like, oh well, where all these people come from, And it's like I feel like I'm having conversations with the same like maximum of like 50 people, but it's just like a bunch of people just watching in the background.
And look, and that's so weird, right? Because we figure out, you see like how the followers and the people that you have messing with you on one platform transfer to the next, and it doesn't always transfer or translate the way you think it will. But I mean, the goal at the end of the day is to build, right? And the fact that, as you mentioned, like the women's spaces, right? It's also dope that as a woman, we have and we need more women that love basketball, that know basketball, that have played basketball, that want to talk about this team, or if it's not this team, just the sport, period, man. Like those early spaces where I had to beg people to come up, you included, which is probably why we're here.
I was just about to say, sometimes people just need a little push. Like
begging.
I on the regular talk to 3 women about this team every single day, and none of them be trying to get up there and talk in like spaces and stuff like that, And so sometimes people just need a little push, because like obviously I don't have issues like talking to people, but I was cool just chilling, listening to what people had to say on the space. And every morning now I listen to Hoop Spaces on Twitter, and I never go on stage. I just be listening, mostly because it's a national show. They talk about all the other teams, and I don't really know what the other team's doing. But eventually I'm gonna go up on stage and talk to them people. But sometimes
as you should,
you just need a little nudge.
What's my dog that don't she's also a part of you just put a
A video with her.
video out with her when y'all were doing Pelicans Twitter.
Yeah, Lizzie.
Lizzie don't ever come up to speak.
Will never.
Ever. She will never come up. I've been
I
trying to
remember she
get
went up one time. I remember she went up. I don't know where you were, but
okay, maybe one time, but it's like,
yeah,
I mean, I'm not, before I retire Spaces, I'm getting her up. But she's an example, right? So
yeah,
people like you, Rocky, for Lauren, Aaron Summers was big a part of that women's
yeah.
spaces that we did. There's a few other people that I'm forgetting names on, but you, Rocky, for Lauren, we're very important in this process, man, because y'all gave other people the belief that they could come up and talk about the team. And even they didn't understand, everybody can't be Mike Cyprian, right? And know what a downhill, on
Yeah.
ball, off ball, head, screen, cutter,
Man, listen, I don't know.
roll.
I don't know about majority of that stuff. I don't know majority of it, but I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get there. Like I said, I'm expanding all of that.
Oh,
So at some
man.
point, I'm gonna stop watching like a fan and start watching like coach.
It's a gradual process. Shout out
It
shout out
is.
to Coach who I'm lock in with again. But yeah, I mean Angie Thomas, like I gotta Angie, if you listen to this, I need you to respond to my DM. But Angie, like,
Hey.
was huge, like huge. But
Yeah,
she I know she did a lot for you. She's done a lot for me in the process
for
behind
sure.
the scenes, just showing love. And again, like I think like the baton continues to be passed, and we need more and more women supporters, women
For sure.
fans, even if you only know a little bit about the team and you want to
Yeah.
learn more, like don't worry
Yeah.
about that other. You got the
Don't
right
be
people in your corner.
scared. Don't
Right.
be scared.
Run up to
I
Rel.
mean, look,
Have
people be coming
have
up
us
to
sign
me
your
and
hat.
man, hey,
What?
look, people come up to me and they be like, "Hey, are you real?" I'll be like, "Yeah." They be like, "Look, I just want to say I love what you're doing," and that's it. And then they walk off, and I'll be like, "Wait, who are you? What's your name?" And they just go and they disappear into the crowd. Like I'm like, "Yo, this is crazy." But nah, man, you brought up Angie. I feel like I always call her my fairy godmother. Like she's so awesome and she's been so helpful, just like with Pelican stuff and also with like personal stuff. Um, she's super super dope. So I wish she still lived, a little bit closer and she was able to come to some more games and stuff. But she's doing her thing. She getting ready to have some more movies and stuff, more books coming out. So, you know,
But she was so important because
yeah,
having someone with her stature attached to the Pelicans, and it was
yeah,
like for so many of, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I would assume for a lot of us, we were like, Angie Thomas is a Pelicans fan?
yeah. Where that come
What?
from?
And then you follow her, and it was a year where she was like, she was stringing, she was tweeting after and during every game,
She was.
and then her therapist got involved, and it's
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She had to chill. She had to chill.
yeah.
But
But
I
shout
get it
out to
though. I
Angie.
get it though, man. The team
Oof,
be having us all stressed out and stuff. She's
oof.
she's she's good for even talking to her therapist about that stuff. I never talked to my therapist about how the Pelicans was sucking.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, it did. It really affects your mood, man. So
for real.
that's why. But again, I mean, it kind of leads back to our first point. That's why building a community where so
Hmm.
many people were a part of starting. Because I mean, to be honest, I don't even think I get to last year without Angie being involved
Yeah,
beyond and joining the spaces along with AD. AD was critical
for
coming
sure.
in, at every that first initial spaces and then so many afterwards, like, and just how helpful he's been. And like I said, the list goes on and on with people that
Yeah,
really like help. But um communities and what's being built now, it goes beyond whether the team is winning or losing, right?
yeah,
Pels 12 gonna it's gonna be available whether this team is doing bad, this team is
yeah.
doing good, or they in the middle, because those fans gonna stay there. Good
Right.
majority of them. Some gonna fall off or whatever, but a good majority of them that's been here, they gonna want to be a part of it and support the team, whether it's whether they're succeeding or
Hmm.
underperforming. And I'm happy for you, dog, because I'm happy. I love when people give credit towards, oh man, you did a good story there. Yo, that was a good podcast. So that was,
Yeah,
all that's fine. But I love the most when people come up to me or I hear people come up to others and say, yo, I love what you're doing for this community. Because
yeah,
then you're giving back to the city. Then you're giving
yeah.
back to the state. You giving back to the region in your own way.
It's a cool feeling, man. Like it became something bigger than basketball like a long time ago.
Yeah, man. That's love. So I'm gonna let y'all in on something. When I texted Rel because I was late. but I texted Rel to see to let her know that I was late, and she told me that she got on the couch. So I thought this wasn't gonna happen because normally, you get on the couch, you start rubbing your feet together, it's over with. It's about you. I got a couple minutes before you fall asleep, man. So I appreciate the
Oh,
superstar taking time out of her busy schedule. I know a new Pels and whistles, which I'm that name. I wanted to give you like a weird eye when that came out. I was like, typically I be sending memes at some of the corny shit that you be putting out. I'm like, I don't like that name. I like that name.
it was crazy. It was the second name that we came up with. He was like, "You have any ideas?" And I said something random, and then I said Pels and Whistles, and he was like, "I like that." And I was like, "It's kind of corny. Let me think of something else." But I could never, ever, ever, nothing else ever made it on the list. I was like, I don't know, man. I just keep going back to it. Like, it makes a lot of sense. Like, I think the first time I told one of my friends, Colleen, because she said I don't be, giving her the shout outs on the podcast. Colleen, I told her about it. She was like, I don't know. And I was like, you get it? Like, bells and whistles, like bells and whistles. Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. I'm like, all right, cool. So just going back and looking at the way people responded to the show when we announced it, and there was a good handful of people giving kudos on just the name of the show. I was like, all right, we got a good one.
And the picture, fam. The picture is that's one of the best. That's probably one of the best podcasts, like covers that we have in the community. Like that's up
Man.
there. Like is that I couldn't even like I wanted to send them like one of the memes I normally be sending when y'all be coming up with corny shit, but I couldn't. I was like, I
Can't
just
do
gotta.
nothing with it.
I couldn't. I was like, I
Well,
gotta
that
give
was
her that. That's kind of
actually
dope.
like, we had to like sign off on it, but that was done by like a graphics team or something, we believe. So it's really cool to like have a team, and we don't really have to do any of that other stuff. So like once we start doing ads and stuff on the show, like there's a sales team that takes care of that, and then we have our producer for the show, and there's like an audio engineer and stuff like that. So it's a whole thing.
Oh, I mean, when you a superstar, why get your hands dirty? Why even have to do that?
Man, hey.
I but look though, man, I'm gonna let you get out of here. And now that makes me think. Like I hear Pels and whistles, and I know a particular player on the Pelicans that's not getting whistles, and I would hope that
Ooh.
he would get one or two at some point. Hope y'all listen. That's like a gem. Use that. That's a bar right there. You could steal that and use it to start off your next show. Shout out to Dan. But yo, shout out to you, Rel. It's love as always. We gonna always connect.
For
You
sure.
got anything? You got anything special that you're working on? Anything dope? Anything you want to leave before we get out of here?
We're organizing a trip to Houston for the games in March on the 17th and 19th. So we getting ready to I don't know exactly when we going to drop the link so people can get the tickets, but we're organizing that. So anybody who want to pull up, definitely pull up. And we got a lot of Pelicans fans in Houston too that's going to be going to that. So that'll be dope. We're probably going to take over the place. But um I'm getting on playback soon, so I'm gonna start doing that, and I'm
Hey,
in addition to Pelicans games, I'm gonna do some other games too. So we like to get together and watch Lakers games, stuff like that. So that's a good idea, right?
that's a. I never thought about that.
Hey, you on record? It was my idea first.
That's no, that's dope. Because there's one thing we love to do, boy. We love to.
Exactly.
If we, I watch it. I love basketball, but dog, I was in my living room watching that
Last
Lakers
game, yeah.
Pacers game, living room, and when Nimhard made that shot, I jumped up like it was Dyson Daniels.
Hey, I was on the couch rubbing my feet together. He hit that shot, and I tossed the cover off. Like, who is that? That
That's
dude's a rookie.
yeah, man.
Man.
That's dope. That's
But
a
yeah,
that's a great idea. So I can't
I'm
wait.
be doing all of that. That's kind of like a solo project. So it's just gonna be me. I might have some other people come up every now and then, but I'm gonna be
I
hosting them
mean,
all.
I'm a partner.
I'll
You could be a
probably,
guest.
I'll probably, for a lot of the away games, we'll do official parties, and sometimes we don't do official watch parties. But for some of those, I'll bring my laptop, probably camp out at the room upstairs or something, and do the stream. So I think that's all the new stuff I got going on for now. We're gonna get back with the Rocky and Rail show and everything. Um, and hashtag Rel Pels. I got some videos coming out with that. And another shout out to AD because I ran into him last night and I told him I was filming some content and doing that who's that bird things, seeing who could name these obscure Pelicans players. And he was like, all right, let's do it. So I did one with him too.
That's
So
dope.
I'm
That's
gonna
dope.
drop that in a couple days and everything. But yeah, man, I'm staying busy.
As always, Warrell, I appreciate you coming on. I told you I wouldn't keep you long. I told you 25 to 30 minutes, and somehow we about to end this at 35. So I'm right
Hey.
around. See, I'm getting
We're
better.
good. We're good.
I know my girl Nana here somewhere. All right, man. We out of here. Y'all was in space. I'm Chris. That's Rel. We out.